Hey everyone, and welcome back to Transport Fever. You're going to notice this episode that things have progressed a little bit since the last time we were here, and that's because Uthris lost the recording, and so we kind of missed about 40 to 50 minutes of gameplay. But that's okay, because we can just pick that up and continue off from where we were. So, what we got here, and what I did last I guess episode in quotation marks that you guys aren't going to see, is that I made our trains much longer. Look at these. These are some pretty long trains now. Almost the full length of the station. Pretty much maxed out to the engine and how much it can really pull. And you can see we're going to be delivering 64 units of bread now. And this is going to go across the bridge and over into Sandhurst. So that is really cool. We've also upgraded, so we have some proper vehicles. I don't know if proper is the right term in a way to describe these things, but they're here, you know. This guy looks pretty comfortable with his gear shift and things like that. We have two large trains for the grain and animal pickup now, and that is working nicely, I think. And that's just producing more over here at the factory. The factory has been upgraded. This is a tier 2 kind of factory, so it's doing nicely as well. This town is slowly expanding. We're actually getting a good amount of people going back and forth at this point, and that's really good. And same thing up here, especially since we're starting to deliver bread. So let's get started. That's the summary of basically the last 50 minutes or so of gameplay. And what I want to do is, I guess, get this path working so we can have two bread trains going back and forth. I think that's going to be a big boost for our factory over here, and that means we'll basically be done with the bread kind of crafting and shuttling that around, and we're going to move on into moving other resources into these two towns. And then after we do that, we can maybe think about expanding to a third town connection. Don't quite know where we want to do that at. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments down below. So what we are doing, we're going to go ahead and quickly get rid of this here and just bring this up to kind of follow along, just like so. And as you guys know, what we can do is hopefully make a junction up here to allow the train to use either this rail or this rail on the way back. It's kind of a temporary thing, and I'm kind of looking for a good straightaway to do this, because it takes, I think, a lot of room to actually make a crossing junction, as you can see, like so. Alright, so we have our junction here, and trains will wait to actually come on to these lines and basically kind of shut down this whole junction. It's a little far away, I know, but sometimes Transport Fever can be a little annoying in that case. We'll let this kind of run over here and then merge single lane for the bridge, and then re-separate again out here for the splits. Now these splits, very much like on the other side, what we'll do is hopefully be able to get a merge going here. So you have to kind of bear with my poor planning skills a lot with this game, but hopefully we can just get better each and every episode. A little bit of a cut that I don't like, but we can always fix that later. Not overly concerned with the aesthetic right now. Like, we can smooth that out. Like, this is a little ugly as well. I wouldn't mind kind of changing this either. Like, I think that looks a little bit cleaner. Okay, so with that, we can go ahead and set up our little signals. At least I believe so. So let's get rid of these. Those aren't really necessary. And this one, we can set up to go, let's see, right side, left side, and then they'll switch if they need to, depending on which way they want to head. And these should already be kind of spaced out enough to where they want to go as well. We will let these two split, come together, and then we'll just add the odd break in here, just in case some trains get hung up through this whole corridor. And there we go. So that's good. And then very much the same right here. So we'll add these two things. Boy, this audio, music player, you are not good. It is being a laggy thing right now. I'm not impressed with the audio quality of that. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna pause it for a second because it's bothering me. I'm sure it's bothering you. All right, and then that and all these are spaced out already, so we are good there. We're just gonna add some more sections up through this corridor into the forest. And I think that is good. I think this will work. This right here will work. So let's take a look at our train. Now this thing is almost full. It's just got 2 pieces of bread left to do. And in that case, what we'll do is we're gonna go ahead into this station. We're gonna buy a train. We're gonna buy a another Prussian just because it is convenient to do. And we will get that full of, I think, a good wagon for bread. And we are going to buy not enough money. I feel like I've run into this problem before. Alright, there goes our current train there. Got some goods. And that, how big is this train? This train is exactly 135 meters. That is the length that we want, and currently we're at 53. So hopefully this train coming into the station now will get us some money, 96,000. So we'll be able to buy another bread train there. So we're about halfway getting this train set up. And there again. Now luckily with the double train system here, we are making a decent profit. You know, they're basically coming up here, getting their grain and animals, and just turning around, coming back, and instantly starting to make more and more bread. Our vehicles are a little bit more of a passive income, kind of an offset to like, to me, vehicle income is kind of a offset to some of the train maintenance costs that we have here on these other longer lines. You can see this goods train is finally coming up to Sainsbury. I believe this is that's the town. Sanders, sorry. Yep, Sanders. And gonna make its delivery. And you can see how much money this bread train is making us. It's about 200K a trip. So 75 meters in length now, this bread train. And it's set up to be a wait until fully loaded route, like a lot of our routes at this point, except for the passenger train. The passenger train doesn't wait. It kind of goes back and forth as quickly as possible, just to keep the demand and efficiency up there. We check this line. We have 36 bread waiting, so we're probably gonna have to wait until this train leaves the station again before we are really able to release this new one here. So let's go back to the buy menu. We are losing a little bit of money. I think our loan is still kind of capped out at 10 mil. It is. So we definitely kind of waste a lot of money on loan repayments. Let's get another goods wagon. All right, let's see if this wants to lag anymore. Hopefully not. All right, 83 meters. Now the problem with this goods train is the fact that it only makes money one way, which is a bit of an issue with its pricing. So if you take a look at the finances, it barely makes a profit. I don't really know what I should do to really fix that in any long-term way. We could add maybe some cars on this to bring something back here, but this is more like a distribution hub than anything else. 56 out of 64 bread there. Really hoping that we can get that station to upgrade one more time here. 90 meters and growing. If they got 100, I'll just let this train go because there's really no sense at just kind of letting this train accumulate debt like this. It's really not a good thing to do. In fact, we go into finances. You can see it's losing money for sure. Not as much as if it was on the rails. I think if it's in a depot, it is cheaper to just kind of let it sit there than anything else. Boy, we have a lot of grain shortage here. We have a lot of animals. We might actually need a third train specifically for animals to keep these animals coming into this bread factory down here, which is almost constantly at capacity in terms of storage and production. So it's pretty impressive to see. Well, looks like this train finally leaving with another load of bread. And how close is the next train coming from the farm? It's a ways off. I'm just waiting for that little bit more money for this final goods trains here. Oh, we just went negative 182. That was a big running cost drain there. So as these kind of come around, I wouldn't mind getting another passenger train going in between these two towns either. Because in my opinion, one train should be loading up while the other one is down here loading up, and they should kind of pass each other midway, and vice versa. So this train, when it reaches up there, the bread train, it will hopefully allow us to buy this, and we'll go ahead and release this and let it load up on bread. Hopefully we can load the station up quickly enough to actually get money off of it. I'll take another income hit, but this should give me about 200,000, as it did a second ago. Yep. Okay, we're gonna buy that, and we're just gonna let this go. There we go. So it's going off here. We'll go ahead. Let's follow it. I won't ride it. I prefer this view, I think, at this point, because there's no like in-cab view like Machinki or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy to just have this orbit camera as it pick up speed with all of its cargo in there. It's gonna switch tracks and then take this across. It will then switch again over to the right lane, like that, and work its way across our bridge. Nice and smooth. Much better bridge than the vehicle one that we built across the river over there, so we might have to look into that, changing that a bit. Now it's going to be interesting because this train is going to be sitting in that station. I don't know what the other bread shuttle is going to do if this is in the station at the same time. Right, so here it's coming. So it'll be interesting to see what it does here. If it just knows to just sit back here and wait. Or what. So you can see it's waiting up there. This one basically got a full load instantly. So hopefully it's going to come out of the station, because it by itself is taking up this whole block area, and it is. So it's going to come out and leave. It's going to go up through this way, and then once it passes the train up there, they'll essentially swap places, which will be good. Let's see, no upgrade schedule. Like its only production is 400. I don't know how to increase that production anymore, but we're essentially good on money. I mean, we are making a profit without buying anything, so we can just kind of sit here and wait for money. And watch this red shuttle come in here as that one leaves. And hopefully the spacing would kind of naturally figure and sort itself out. Where is this train? Is this one leaving now? Yes, it is. Okay, this one's leaving just as this one's basically arriving. So that's still a good ratio. Let's just make sure here real quick if this is turning a profit still. It is. It for sure is. Look at that thing go. All right. Now we have to think about, well, expanding, right? It's the ever race to expansion. And we need to think about what we want to haul around. Now, the easiest would probably be lumber or stone. So lumber, if we take lumber over to a sawmill, which I have to now find a sawmill, and I'm afraid they're really far away. Where the heck is the sawmill at? Yeah, there's one way up there at Petworth. One past Southport. Oh wow, that's an issue. They're all really far away. Yeah, there's one all the way over here on the left side. There's one right up here in Lawton, which we might have to look at doing. Or what we can do is do something a little bit sneaky. There is right here a quarry right by the river. And if we take a look at navigable waters, you can see we can just barely squeeze down here. Now the problem comes with this bridge. So if we tear down this bridge and rebuild a higher one, we can get a boat underneath this. Same thing here. So I have to build 2 new bridges, and we can ship that all the way down using boats. Very old school Egyptian style here. And I think there is yes, there's a concrete plant right here on this lake. Large body of water there. And I tell you, that might be the best thing to do, because you save money on infrastructure. You just have to rebuild 2 bridges. You have to lay down a whole bunch of line, and you can simply ship stone via boat. Let's see, how much would it cost for a bridge across here? But it's kind of expensive. Alright, and then just like that, and down. So something like that would be a tall enough bridge, I think, to get a boat underneath of it. And then if we delete this one, yep, it connects right up there. And then we can connect this straight up to that intersection. And then this one, ooh, wow, that's an expensive one. All right. There we go. It's only expensive due to the terrain modifications. So there, we can get a boat underneath that bridge now. So it's about a $150,000 to $200,000 investment to do these bridges. Much cheaper than rail. So for example, if I were to drag a piece of rail out here, like look at that, million, 2 million, you know, 3 million. Just for that little bit, and that's not even all the way. So we are definitely saving a bunch of money by doing this. Now granted, boats are really slow, so that'll be interesting. So we'll have to ship it here and then ship it down to here. Let's go to the harbor real quick. And go to freight and just see kind of how this will work a bit. It's really only going to hit the commercial area, so like I would probably have to build it about here. So that's a $500,000 investment for that dock, mainly due to construction costs in terms of terraforming and also the homes. And really, it'd be almost more efficient to probably just delete the homes ahead of time. See how that handles it. But it'll have basically a direct path straight into these factories, and that will deliver some of these construction materials, which will hopefully increase the industry here and making more people want to go in between these two towns. So hey, I think that'll do us. So we have about another $500,000. Let's go up here. Now where's that quarry? So right here. So we need to get rid of this bridge here. It's going to be an expensive bridge to kind of redo because the costs probably involved with it. It's probably pretty high due to the homes and things. Oh, autosave. Now I could, you know, just go without the bridge. Like, would that really be an issue? I mean, they can cross up here. They can't really connect there. Ah, screw it. We'll just commit. Full commitment. I mean, that's what's fun about these games. Just troubleshoot it. Alright, so you can see this is actually going to come off at a new angle to straighten it. What if I use the upgraded road to start it so it's straight here, you know? And just keep going up and up. Up as basically steep as possible. about there. Boy, it can look a little weird doing this, but you know, maybe eventually we can upgrade the roads. I just want to get the pillar here, basically just like that. Right on the edge there. So we'll build that. And then we will level it off. Oh god, this is like the ugliest bridge. Like look at that little. That's not good looking. All right, maybe we can work with this a bit. For example, do that, and then smooth this out over there. Oh. Sure. We can figure that out. First things first, though, I still want to get this this boat line set up for this episode. That's the big thing. I swear, some of these musics just skips too much. I wonder if there is. There's no quarry close to the river. Well, there's this one. This is closer. Hold on, let's see. It might be more expensive than it's worth to build the dock here, though. But we could really get away with it. It'll just be how much road does this take to get up here, and if it's too steep. Let's do that. All right, so that is going to connect to that quarry. It's a pretty crazy angle cutting through here. In fact, it kind of looks cool, to be honest. So we have that. That is picking up stone. And if you work our way over here, now you can see this is a problem. This one is probably a little bit more doable, right? Because of this road and the way this kind of lines up to the water. Like, it might be better to put a harbor here, because that's close enough to still trigger this. So we're just gonna wait for some money. I wonder what 2 terminals look like. Oh wow. What's 3 terminals look like? Oh wow. That's a pretty big dock. We're sticking with 1 right now. Because for me to really make use of that, I would probably have to cut more waterway. And I still don't even know if that's possible. It's too much out of our budget right now to even think about doing. Then we'll have to hook it up right here, and this is the most expensive section, and then we'll buy our first boat. So we'll have going here and then there to there. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, we'll see. You know, many people don't use boats in this game, and I really think there's a reason for it, especially early on. But you know, it's one of those things. You just gotta risk it sometimes. Just need a hair bit more money for this little dirt road here. Any of these trains? Yep. There we go. And does this connect up? It does. It does. It does. All right. And then we just need a shipyard. Really, having the shipyard probably in the middle here would be cool. So we'll plop that down by this wacky bridge. All right, what kind of ships can we do? Passengers. Ah, look at that. We got some boats. 225,000. Obviously, the Zorster. Top speed 20. Top speed 20. Weight, power. So if I added, say, oh no, it can't carry stone. Only this one can carry stone. All right, good to know. So it can carry 50 stone at a time. So this one's okay. So this one's more of a cargo container ship for like liquids, and then this one's more for dry goods. Okay, so that's the difference between these two. This one's a little bit smaller, so hopefully it can fit under the bridges a little bit better too. So we'll just buy one of these. Sure, we'll set up a route. New line. From there to there. And off he goes. Hold on, go back. Go back. I need to refit you for stone. Yeah, you know, I clicked off them. I done screwed that up. Go back quickly. Get back in there, and hopefully they can pass each other. I think that's a benefit of boats, right? As long as they have room, they can kind of pass each other and not interfere. So that's good. All right, let's refit this for stone. Stone and stone. There we go, and set line to that. Alright, off he goes, leaving the harbor. Taking quite the scenic route. No line usage yet, but hopefully that'll change once the ship kind of start going here. And we'll need a ship from here up into this area. Let's look at our finances a little bit. So construction, as you can see, we spent $1 million last year. Is this thing still losing us money? I don't know, it's kind of hit and miss on this one. Tell you what, you go turn around and go straight to the depot and sell. You know, this guy's not working out. Having this other train, sadly, just doesn't look like it was meant to be. I think we're basically maxing out this bread depot as is, so we can just get rid of that for now. Get rid of that train completely. How long has this episode been going? Oh my lord. Alright, so you're coming in. You can pick up stone. You can accept stone, hopefully. So you're docked. There you go. There you go. There you go. Take a look at line 3 real quick. There we go. He's going to take some like 13 stone initially, but it'll get better as we get more. So we gained $1 million there, so we'll buy a new ship. This one, we'll set it for construction material. We'll buy that. All right, we're going to set up a new line. Actually, before that, I need to build ourselves our actual harbor down here. There we go. Just like that. So this new line is going to work. It is going from here down to here, and off he goes. Now, is he ahead or behind this boat? He's behind, or ahead of it, but that's fine. So we'll get 2 boats from this to there. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a new ship. Set this up for stone. Set this up for stone. We will buy it. Set line. I guess line 3 is kind of the line we want here. In fact, it should be fine to release this now. There we go. Plenty of ships being released on the waterways, and this is kind of what you would expect to see a lot, especially in old times, right? I mean, we still, even nowadays, ship a lot of heavy things and dry goods on the waterways and rivers, so this is pretty good. And the running costs are pretty cheap. It's 31K a year. Let's go see how much a big train's running cost is at. 429K a year. So boats are pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap. I'm kind of happy that they're cheap like that. Kind of spam them up a little bit early on here. So we are producing plenty of stone. 52 waiting. We can carry 50, so this one's gonna have a good timing to it, I think. I just want to see how much money 13 stone makes, because then we can roughly calculate how much each of these boats are going to make. It's going well. Look at all the people waiting here at this dual station with a little bit of a town growing in the middle of it. I think this is really neat. It really fills in this area nicely. Really makes it part of the town, you know? And then these will merge and leave town eventually. As soon as we figure out a good way to do that. I have no idea. And we'll probably have to build a bridge crossing these 2 tracks up here eventually as well, so we can fully kind of surround these train tracks. Same thing up here. Probably build a bridge over this section and just square this off. That'll look cool eventually too. Oh man, these boats are slow. They are real slow. In fact, I'm probably gonna need a third. I'm gonna need a third one of these boats here. So we'll set this for stone, set this for stone, we'll buy it. And then when this one passes it a little bit, we will buy that third ship. And then we have basically good permanent spacing and hopefully enough stone going to the brickworks to get us all of the resources we'll need. If we can just get there. first ship's kind of pulling in there. And you do want enough spacing so, you know, the ships picking up cargo here and dropping off don't interfere too much with each other. These things are really cheap running costs. I'm really happy. So he's going to turn in. Kind of show up. And look at that big flag. It's huge to have such a flag. And this guy is the one steering the ship. There we go. So you'll go pick up some more stone. This guy's leaving. This guy's going to pull in. First little load here. And you can see he's only, you know, cost 20,000 so far this year. Let's just see how much, not even a half a load of stone will make, and see how much that offsets the running costs, and it could be worth it. It could totally not be worth it, and this could be a total mistake of an episode. $25K. So 25K. He made a profit. And he didn't even have half an inventory full, so I'm pretty confident that these boats here are all gonna turn a profit. We might even need a fourth boat to really fully optimize the route there, but yeah, that is good. So what I'm going to do before I end the episode is I'm going to set this guy up for brick. Brick, set line for there. So we can have those two. So we are making money with boats, people. We're on the waters. And with that, I think we are going to end this episode here as this boat kind of pulls into the harbor. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have ideas, suggestions for the series, let me know in the comments down below. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for more creative goodness such as this. Hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next episode.